All right, so get this. We're going deep into the world of Gethin. From Ursula K. Guin's The Left Hand of Darkness.
Oh, yeah. I love that book.
You guys shared some excerpts, and we're ready to uncover its secrets.
Sounds fun.
It's a fascinating thought experiment. Forget spaceships and all that.
Yeah.
Guin isn't predicting the future,
Right.
but using science fiction to kind of hold up a mirror to it.
Exactly. We're going beyond the plot today.
Okay.
Focusing on Gethenian society.
Right.
As Le Guin presents it,
Mm-hmm.
what does this world tell us
Yeah.
about our own assumptions, our own potential?
Okay, let's unpack this.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a planet in perpetual ice age,
Okay.
where the people have this twist. They're ambisexual,
Wow.
not male or female, but shifting during this period called Kemmer.
I mean, think about it.
I know. Think about the societal implications.
Yeah.
No fixed gender roles. Everyone contributes equally. Childcare is shared.
It challenges our ideas of what's natural.
Totally.
Think about it. How does this impact power dynamics?
Yeah.
Is there true equality?
Right.
We even have this anecdote from an observer from another planet
Oh, really?
who finds Gethenian sex and society just totally baffling.
Interesting.
Le Guin is forcing us to look at our own biases through this outsider's eyes.
Exactly. Makes you question what we consider normal here.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, so we've got this unique society, but it's not a utopia.
Oh, right.
There are two main nations on Gethin,
Yeah.
Karhide and Orgrain,
Oh, yeah.
and they're like oil and water.
Total. Karhide's almost medieval with a decentralized system.
Mm.
Tradition is everything.
Okay.
And they're devoted to truth-telling.
Really?
There's even this scene where the king is plastering a keystone,
Wow.
highlighting their slow way of life.
Interesting.
Every individual matters.
Then you've got Orgrain, which feels familiar to us.
Yeah.
Centralized control, state-run economy,
Yeah.
obsessed with efficiency and order.
It's striking how Le Guin contrasts them through Shusky's house.
Right.
A high-ranking Orgoda official living in comfort unheard of in Karhide.
That raises a question. Are these systems really so different?
It's a good question.
Karhide values truth,
Yeah.
but is it always the best approach?
Right.
Orgrain might be efficient, but at what cost?
Are they mirroring real-world systems we see today?
Ooh, good point. Now into this world steps Genli, our envoy from a vast interstellar union called the Ecumen.
The Ecumen.
His mission: convince Gethin to join.
Sounds simple enough.
Right, but
He hits a wall of mistrust, cultural barriers,
really?
political intrigue. Genli's constantly underestimated.
Wow.
I'm sometimes mistaken for a pervert
A pervert.
because he has a permanent sex.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
The book highlights challenges of communication,
Yeah.
not just between people, but civilizations.
Like that tense encounter with King Argivan of Karhide.
Oh, yeah.
Genli tries to explain the Ecumen,
Mm-hmm.
the benefits of joining,
Right.
but it's like talking to a wall.
It's fascinating because the king can't grasp the concept.
Right.
His whole worldview is limited to this one planet.
Right.
The scale of interstellar cooperation is beyond him.
I see.
Le Guin's prompting us to examine our own limitations,
Okay.
how our perspectives can become barriers.
So we've got this tension between ambition and structure,
Yeah.
but there's also a spiritual element.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Enter the Handara.
Okay.
This philosophical order focused on understanding. They practice foretelling.
Okay.
And I have to admit, this blew my mind.
Oh, really?
It's not fortune-telling,
Okay.
but accessing potential futures by asking the right questions.
What?
How do you even...
We get this vivid anecdote about Genli's experience during a session.
Okay.
He's bombarded with sensory details, given a cryptic answer,
And?
and is left utterly confused.
Oh, wow.
But that's the beauty of it.
Okay.
The Handara believe that knowing the future isn't the point.
Right.
It's about focusing on the present, on asking the right questions now.
I like that.
And this connects directly to you.
To me,
How often do we worry about the future?
instead of asking the right questions in the present,
That's deep.
what can we change today?
Whoa, that hit home.
Okay.
Things are about to get intense.
Uh-huh.
Genli and his Gethenian companion Estraven
Right.
embark on this dangerous journey across the Gobrin ice,
The Gopher Ice.
this massive glacier.
Wow.
We're talking extreme cold hunger isolation,
Oh, no.
the constant threat of death.
Le Guin doesn't hold back, paints a visceral picture of their struggle.
It's a crucible for their relationship.
Right. How does their understanding of each other, their trust, deepen under this pressure?
This is where we see their bond solidify.
Yeah, facing down death together will do that.
I guess. But even amidst this struggle,
Right.
the book explores those themes of isolation and connection.
Yes, think about that moment when Genly and Estraven
Okay.
discuss their different experiences of Kemer.
Right.
They come from such different worlds biologically
Totally.
and culturally, yet they rely on each other completely.
Wow.
It's a powerful reminder.
Yeah. That even when we feel most alone, connection is possible.
That's nice.
But it takes effort, understanding, and a willingness to bridge those gaps. Yeah. Makes you wonder what's really essential for connection. Is it shared experiences or values or something deeper? But while we see these glimmers of hope, Le Guin doesn't shy away from the darker aspects of Gathenian society.
Oh, right, like in Orgarain, where control and conformity are everything.
Exactly. It's chilling how Estraven,
Right.
after being exiled from Karhide for supporting Genly,
Oh, yeah?
ends up in Pulfin Farm, basically a forced labor camp.
It's awful. The book describes these examinations where the Orgoda government
Right.
uses drugs and psychological manipulation to force confessions.
It's a chilling depiction of how power can be used to control thought.
Yeah, and to suppress individuality.
Yeah.
Genly experiences this firsthand after he's arrested in Missionary.
Right.
Subjected to these drugged interrogations, he loses track of time. His memories get fragmented. It's a far cry from the Handara's way.
Absolutely. The contrast is stark.
Yeah. The Handara believe in seeking truth through understanding.
Right.
Orgaran is obsessed with extracting answers.
Regardless of their validity.
Yeah, it makes you question the very nature of truth.
And how different societies define it. It's disturbing how the book portrays the hopelessness within Pulfin Farm.
People are broken, their spirits crushed.
It's a warning about the dangers of control and conformity.
And yet, even in this system, we see individuals like Estraven who hold on to their sense of self.
Okay.
Their journey across the Gobrin ice becomes a fight for freedom, a testament to resilience.
So let's talk about that journey. Paint us a picture. What did they face out there on this frozen wasteland?
Imagine a world of endless white town. The horizon disappears into the blinding snow.
I'm getting cold just thinking about it.
The temperature plunges, the wind howls across the ice like a hungry beast.
Wow. Le Guin's descriptions are so vivid.
You can almost feel the biting cold, the gnawing hunger, the constant threat of hypothermia.
And they're hauling everything they need on a sledge.
Right, food, shelter, all their supplies.
It's a test of endurance, both physical and mental. They navigate treacherous crevasses, blinding snowstorms, the fear of getting lost.
And remember, Estraven is still recovering from Pulfin Farm. He's pushing herself beyond his limits.
Their resilience is incredible.
Right.
But even in this fight for survival, we see moments of tenderness and understanding emerge.
There's that scene where Estraven, in a moment of vulnerability,
Yeah,
confesses he's in Kemer.
he does.
He asks Genly not to touch him.
I see.
It's a private process for Gathenians.
Right.
And Genly, despite his initial struggles, shows complete respect for Estraven's boundaries.
It shows how much they've grown to trust each other and how Genly has come to appreciate Gathenian culture.
Their differences, instead of driving them apart, become a source of connection.
It's a reminder that intimacy can arise in the most unexpected places, even amidst hardship.
Speaking of differences, you mentioned earlier that Genly tried to teach Estraven mind speech.
Oh, right, that telepathic ability.
They tried, but Estraven remained deaf to Genly's mental calls. He even mastered various Handara disciplines, but couldn't grasp mind speech.
Why do you think that was? Was it a cultural block or a fundamental difference in how their minds worked?
It raises some fascinating questions.
Yeah.
Perhaps some aspects of human consciousness are just too culturally specific to be shared across such vast differences.
Okay.
Or maybe it points to a deeper incompatibility between Genly's Terran mind and Estraven's Gathenian one.
You mean like they come from different worlds with different evolutionary histories?
Exactly. Even their brains might be wired differently.
That's mind-blowing. It makes their connection even more remarkable.
But as their journey continues, time becomes their enemy. They're racing against the elements.
Right.
Their food supplies dwindling, the border to Orgaren, still a distant goal.
They had those hyperfood rations, the Gitchy-Mishy, but I imagine those wouldn't last forever.
You're right, they're carefully rationing them, but they're running dangerously low.
How low are we talking?
Estraven estimates they only have enough for another 7 days.
7 days.
Yeah.
But they're still miles from the border. How do they overcome that?
Estraven, ever resourceful, hatches a risky plan. He decides to go into a town called Sasanoth
Sassanot.
to try and buy more supplies.
That's close to the Orgoda border. It's incredibly dangerous for Estraven, especially since he's a wanted man in Karhide.
It's a desperate gamble. They need food, and time is running out. But while Estraven is in town, Genly makes a daring decision of his own.
He tries to contact the Ecumen again.
Exactly. He knows it's a long shot, but he's desperate. He sneaks back into Sasanoth, finds a shortwave radio, and manages to send another message. This time, he includes specific details, their location, their plan to cross into Orgaran.
He's risking everything if the Karhedish authorities intercept that message.
The consequences could be devastating, but he's willing to gamble on this slim chance of rescue.
So he sends the message holding his breath, hoping against hope. But what about Estraven? Was he successful in getting supplies?
He was. He manages to buy more gitchy-mishy enough to extend their journey.
Thank goodness. So they reunite their supplies, replenish their hopes, renewed. They can finally continue towards the border. It feels like they might actually make it.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But their relief is short-lived. Something happens in Sasanoth, something that changes everything. Remember those simmering tensions between Karhide and Orgaran?
Yeah, those border skirmishes, the political posturing. It felt like war was inevitable.
It all comes to a head while Estraven is in town. There's an incident, a confrontation.
And Estraven gets caught in the crossfire.
He makes a choice, a split-second decision that alters the course of their journey. He sees Genly in danger, surrounded by increasingly hostile Karhedish guards.
I think he's an Orgoda spy, right?
With tensions so high, it's not surprising with his alien appearance and his connection to the Ecumen is an easy target for suspicion.
So Estraven acts impulsively to protect him.
He does something even more profound. He steps forward and claims to be the one who sent the radio message.
He takes the blame on himself. Why would he do that?
It's a moment of extraordinary selflessness. He knows the consequences will be severe, but he doesn't hesitate. He sacrifices himself to save Genly.
Wow, that's incredible. So Estraven ends up back in prison, and Genly is left to continue the mission alone.
It's a heartbreaking turn of events. Everything they'd gone through, the bond they'd forged, all shattered in an act of pure selflessness, and the weight of that sacrifice falls squarely on Genly's shoulders. He has to carry on knowing that his friend gave up everything for him.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, how does he even go on after something like that?
Well, it's a heavy burden to carry. The weight of someone else's sacrifice, you'd think it would crush you.
Yeah.
But maybe it fuels you, pushes you forward.
So what happens next? Does Genly get out of this impossible situation?
He does remember that message from Sasanoth, that desperate plea.
The coordinates.
It reaches its destination.
Oh, thank goodness.
The Ecumen receives it.
So they send a ship.
Of course, traversing interstellar distances takes time.
Right.
But eventually, a ship arrives in Karhide.
Near the border.
They're there for Genly.
And what about Estraven? Is he still in that prison?
He's not forgotten. Genly uses his authority as envoy to negotiate Estraven's release.
He does.
He leverages the promise of future alliances.
Wow.
Making it clear that Estraven's freedom is non-negotiable.
He puts everything on the line for his friend. What a bond.
It's a risky move, but a powerful one. The king sees the potential benefits of aligning with the Ecumen. He also realizes Genly, backed by this interstellar civilization, is a force to be reckoned with.
So the king agrees Estraven is free, reunited with Genly.
It's not that simple.
Oh.
It's bittersweet.
What do you mean?
Estraven chooses to stay on Gethin.
He doesn't want to leave, not even after everything.
He feels a responsibility to his planet, to the people he wants to help bridge the divide between Karhide and Orgaran.
That's a lot to take on.
He sees Genly's mission as a success,
but
understands that lasting change has to come from within.
It's not enough to impose change from the outside?
Right. True transformation requires internal commitment.
A willingness to evolve. Estraven embodies that.
He dedicates his life to fostering understanding and reconciliation.
Even if it means staying in a place that caused him so much pain.
Genly leaves Gethin with his mission accomplished, but his heart is heavy.
He's leaving behind his friend.
The one who truly understood him. Who helped him navigate this world.
It's a poignant ending, but hopeful. Their bond transcends distance.
They may be separated.
Right.
But their experiences will forever shape them.
It makes you think about connection, how friendships can transform us.
And that's the power of the left hand of darkness.
It challenges our assumptions.
It pushes us to confront our biases.
And reminds us that connection is boundless. So we've explored Gethin
societies
and witnessed this incredible journey.
What does this mean for us here on Earth?
It's a lot to ponder, right?
Guin forces us to confront questions about gender power, humanity.
Big questions.
She challenges us to examine our own societies.
Our own biases.
to ask ourselves what kind of world we want to create.
There's a call to action.
To embrace empathy.
Understanding.
And the possibilities of connection.
Even in a world of difference, we are all connected.
All part of the same tapestry of life.
As we navigate our own world facing challenges.
Let's remember the lessons of Guin.
To build bridges.
To embrace difference.
And never underestimate connection. What a powerful message. Thank you for guiding us through this deep dive.
You're welcome.
It's a journey that will stay with me and to everyone listening.
Keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
Then keep connecting.
You never know what adventures await.
Did you get any of that?